All right, forcing CDs in chat because Dr. Disrespect is selling NFTs and Montoya made a video about it. I am super hyped for this one. This one's gonna be so good. Oh my god, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
Ladies
the
and
channel. I've got a
gentlemen.
great story for you today. Dr. Disrespect selling NFTs to crowdfund a game he wants to make. Now, all I've done on this channel is slam NFTs
Yes.
in all my previous videos, so this may be a shock to you. But here is one that is potentially getting a thumbs up from me. Let me explain before you lose your mind, like his community did, okay? Dr. Disrespect announcing Midnight Society. It's a game studio. He wants to make a game. He's going to sell NFTs to fund it. His community does not like it. Dr. Disrespect responds to the backlash, calls game Project Moon, and he went and addressed it. Goes, listen, let me explain what's happening. I'll explain it to you too. But first of all, let me just dig in what's happening here. Dr. Disrespect, you must know, a famous Twitch streamer now on...
Does anybody get the irony in this, though? Has anybody seen the irony? Star Citizen's been selling in NFTs for a game that doesn't exist for 10 years. You just don't get to resell them for more and scam somebody else. You only get scammed once, but you could scam somebody else if it's an NFT, right?
YouTube, got kicked out of Twitch for reasons unknown to us still, but he wants to sell 10,000 NFTs, $50 a piece. He wants to raise $500,000 to fund a game he wants to make, but he's not making this game alone. Now, Dr. Disrespect actually worked at Call of Duty. He was a level designer, so he knows a thing or two about level design in gaming, and obviously he games for a living. He has experience in the field, but he's not doing it alone because he's teaming up with Call of Duty creative strategist Robert Bowling and Halo 5 multiplayer designer Quinn Del Hoyo. So definitely some big names he's teaming up with, not going it alone. I like it, as opposed to this garbage. If you don't know who Pixelmon is, 21-year-old kid, no gaming experience at all, sells his pixelated images, raises $70 million. You want to just catch up on what's happening here quickly.
Raises how much?
Disaster, absolute disaster. These were selling for $3,000. Now they're selling for $500, $649, to $423. Horrible. Absolute disaster of a project, and we can all enjoy our Unity on Hedonist Unity. He's actually just went to the Unity store, grabbed assets, and sold them. Horrible example of NFTs, all right? Horrible example. Better example here. Let me explain why. So
I knew it, dude. I had a feeling that because it's exactly how Star Citizen does it, that he would be okay with this one. Oh my god, I had a feeling.
We follow the development of Star Citizen very closely. It's a project I've been involved with from the very beginning. And when it comes to crowdfunding to develop a game, Star Citizen crawled through the muck. So guys like Dr. Disrespect could possibly fly. So what is it that he's doing, and how is he doing it, and why is the community up in arms about it? And I gotta say,
you gotta ask yourself this question. Is crowdfunding a project in the way Star Citizen is doing it the right way, a good way, the best way to do things? You really gotta take a step back and look at the project Star Citizen and wonder, was this good? Did Star Citizen make a enormous amount of money? Yes. Absolutely. But the whole playable experience while they're doing it, which is what continues the funding, is basically been a detriment the entire time. Server meshing, persistence, everything would be more polished, made quicker, any gameplay aspect, planets, everything. If it didn't have to be a playable experience every quarter, the project would have moved a lot quicker. In return, they wouldn't have made as much money as they did. But the cycle continues and it never ends. And that's where we are. So how can we say that this was like a great thing? You know, yes, if you look at some of the stuff that they've done, the planets look amazing. There's a lot of great things about SC, but there's a lot of problems too. And there's a lot of problems that can no longer be solved because of this never-ending cycle that Star Citizen is in. I just don't think that we can look at Star Citizen and go, this is the pinnacle of, this is the way to do things, you know? It just isn't. And I just don't know how anybody can defend the project in that way, right? But Star Citizen is attempting to do things and make a game that nobody's ever made before, and you know, all the cliches and things that are around Star Citizen. I mean, I think that's why a lot of us are here, but is it the best way to do things, you know? And I just don't think we can 100% defend Star Citizen in this way. There's a lot of good things, but there's also a lot of bad, right? Come on.
Possibly wrongfully so. If there is a case use for NFTs, what he's doing here is something I can get behind. So let's take a look at what he's saying here. Let's go to, let's first read. As we focus on building this new PvP multiplayer first-person shooter, we're looking to leverage the collective strength of our Day Zero community to go hands-on during crucial early development milestones of the project. Now, the first thing they got to do is obviously raise the funds. It's expensive. You got to hire people. You need equipment. It's not free. So raising $500,000 is exactly what Star Citizen did in the early Kickstarter days, and they ended up raising close to $6 million by the time that ended. So yes, right move here. To raise some money. What this does is it raises the funds you need, but also shows you how much interest there can be. So
yes, I agree with that. So I don't think there's anything wrong with Dr. Disrespect going to his community and saying, hey guys, if you want to support me in this project, I will provide you with a way to do it. I actually don't think there's anything wrong with crowdfunding your fans as a content creator for building a project that's better. I think it's way better to do that and actually try to do something with your influence than sit there and play video games like most streamers do, including myself. I think Dr. Disrespect is doing, providing a service to the people who support him, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that in comparison to a lot of people who just like watch, you know, I don't know, but like the like we talked about them earlier in stream, but the whole thing is I don't know. I'm gonna keep watching, but I just don't think you could defend Star Citizen as doing it right.
Here to use NFTs is what's different here, and the NFTs
being a React
are going
streamer,
to be
which is
these
exactly what I'm
helmets
doing
here.
now,
Every helmet will have its own stats. They'll be unique. These are the NFTs you use. Now that don't give you an advantage over other people in the game, but what they do get you is this, and we'll go to a blog post he made on the topic, how this all works. So, you enter the Midnight Society as a member of the clause, blah, blah, blah. Let's move down to what you get if you actually do fund the game. You get early access to download early game builds, just like Star Citizen does right now. You get voting rights to sit at the table with key...
Long before the game is playable in the traditional sense. PUBG did this, guys. A lot of game companies do this, but the state of the game is not polished from an art standpoint at all. Okay? Voting rights. This is hilarious.
He decides features of prioritization, blah, blah. Let me give you some...
This is idiotic. This is like literally giving key design decisions to a bunch of people who don't know anything about game design, right? Which include, like, guys, I'm sorry, but listening to me on game design ideas is probably not a good idea. We just watched ISC earlier. The guy who was talking about looting is somebody who I've gone back and forth with many times, and every time I brought up an idea, he had the reason why it can't work. Right? He had the outliers instantly. That's his job. That's what he's good at. I'm not good at those things. Giving voting rights to people is idiotic.
Insight what's going to happen over here. If you are an armchair game developer, no, your opinion is not that important, but they're giving you the option at least. And the Star Citizen kind of does the same thing, where there's early Evocati releases, where there's a small group of players go in, they test out certain things, they give their feedback to the developers, who then go change if they need to change and just shake things up to make things better. Essentially, it's as if you're working as free QA for a game, and this is going to be kind of the same thing. They may also give you a false choice. What I mean by false choice, Star Citizen does is also where they'll say, hey guys, what do you guys want? Do you want a new heavy fighter, or do you want a mining ship? And everyone will choose one or the other, but end of the day,
where's my refining ship, Star Citizen? Where? 2019 CitizenCon, where's my refining
they'll
ship?
make both anyway. So it's kind of the same thing. I feel it's going to happen over there with the voting rights if you're an early backer of the game. And you get the unique visor cortex design. It's a one-of-a-kind tradable visor cortex. This is a custom visor design displayed on your variant helmet, which is unique to you. All 10,000 visor cortexes are unique and procedurally generated with traits of different rarities. And
that's kind of cool.
Over there, we see what they'll be. So yeah, I like that yellow, gold and black. Is yellow? It's black. It's gold. Yeah, I like that with the sword.
I don't know why
you
like that.
So for example, you go and you mint a helmet, or they give you a minted helmet, and it says +5 to melee. All right, and because you're a melee character, you love it, but you may also choose to sell it. The curious part, and the part which people are up in arms about, is the fact that it's an NFT, so it's going to be on the blockchain as opposed to an internal database like CSGO. CSGO skins, it's the exact same thing, except CSGO sells on Steam. It's on their own internal database. Same thing. So basically they're doing that and going, we're just going to put it on the blockchain because this can be tradable later. Pros and cons, look, we've yet to see. And this is what you...
But yeah, like with Steam, can't you could resell them for more, right? Is that how CS:GO works? I don't do any of this crap, so I don't know. You can. Okay. Yeah, like in the end, I think providing something for the players to have this like out of game economy is kind of like cool too. But I'm just talking about like from the general like crowdfunding perspective. Like there's lots of problems with this that Star Citizen has highlighted how problematic they can be. It's just hilarious that of course Montoya is okay with this. Because it just looks too much like Star Citizen.
Ubisoft did. Ubisoft basically put out these NFTs which you get from their game, which are in a blockchain instead of an internal.
The difference is that Steam and it's not a rug pull NFT scam. So what could happen here that couldn't happen if it was its own like internal economy? What could Dr. Disrespect, because I know nothing about NFTs, what could Dr. Disrespect do to destroy the value of these things? Because that's the part where I don't see it with this specific system, right? Because like wouldn't it have to be like basically what Ice Poseidon did that you just typed in chat is like Ice Poseidon owns X amount of these I don't know, the coins, and then yoinks all the money out, and then the value of them just goes away. Where it seems like they're just minting these and selling you something that you can use later, right? And you could sell on your own. I don't know. I don't see that much wrong with this.
Internal database, and it's the same thing really. And I like the fact that Ubisoft is actually experimenting with this much better than what these clowns are doing.
The whole thing is they could just run with the money anyway. Like the argument about running with the money is something that can happen anyway, right? So if he gets $500,000 and doesn't finish the game, which is a reality, it's still a reality with Star Citizen, guys, right? Like the people who say stop buying spaceships, if everybody stopped buying spaceships, what would happen? the doors would close, guys. Like, that's what would happen. Like, this is a reality. No matter what, you're giving money to somebody in hopes that he makes this game, right? That's it. I don't know how NFTs work in any other way, but in this case, you are buying the NFT for one reason and one reason only, to fund his game. If you are buying the NFT to make money off the NFT, I don't know, maybe you're an idiot, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're a genius, right? Some people have become billionaires off of this stuff. But the whole thing for me is in this case, that's the point of it. It's the same thing as Star Citizen. If you're buying spaceships to sell them for more money later, I don't know. That's not like the point of it. The point of it is the guy wants to make a game. He claims that he's a genius at making video games. Like this guy knows everything, right? So yeah, put your money where your mouth is, dude. And the whole thing is I also know that Dr. Disrespect has more than $500,000. So with his attitude and everything that he does, I'd like to see him put all of his big boy money where his mouth is and make the game himself and not have it crowdfunded if he's so damn good, right? But I also think, like any influencer does, let's put up a donation goal and make it happen ourselves, because why would I pay for it if I can make somebody else pay for it, right? And that's what he's doing. More power to him, I guess, in that case. But the idea here is you're buying something to support his project. And I think that's what Montoya is getting behind with this, is you're buying a spaceship to support Star Citizen's project. What Dr. Disrespect is doing significantly better than what Star Citizen is doing is he is not putting up each individual helmet on a store that says why this helmet is so much better than the other one and selling it for significantly more, right? Why is the Orion so expensive versus the Prospector, right? There's all these different reasons, and this is worth way more money. And, your progression in the game is being taken away, essentially. Whereas each of these helmets, he is providing in-game advantages for you buying these NFTs, which is slightly problematic, but the randomization and the procedural generation of them is what I think is a good thing. So you buy an NFT, it is procedurally generated, whatever stats are on it, whatever the colors and all those things are, that's what you get. And it's not this whole thing where this NFT costs $10,000 because we want to make more money off of it. The person who's going to make that money is the person who got the rare one, I guess. That's where it's like slightly better.
Doing again. So there's a lot of hate towards it because people, when they think NFTs, what do they think? They think like some pixelated garbage, some weird image which sold for $60 million for no reason at all. There's a lot of scams. There are a lot of rug pulls in the NFT marketplace. But in this particular case, I like it. I like to see where this goes. And let's just go to a recent video that Dr. Disrespect put up on the topic here. Let's just listen for a second what you say about it.
The Midnight Society community is going to really get behind and get excited for is being involved at all stages of the development of this game. I mean, a very transparent approach to game development.
Exactly the same thing that crowdfunding game Star Citizen has done. They want people involved from the very beginning, just to be involved with the development financially or otherwise.
He literally read the script. He read the script.
And that's what we're creating here.
Mm-hmm.
How do you not see this?
In regards to NFTs, you don't have to have NFTs to play the game. It doesn't change your experience of the game once it releases, and it'll continue to be free to play.
All right, so I want to hit on that. Buying or getting into the first 10,000 of these NFTs is not going to improve or give you kind of any advantage. You're just getting the helmet, right? This is what you're getting. This thing over here. Can I zoom that? Yes, we can. And there'll be stats on that. But playing the game, you'll get the same stuff anyways. But what this gives you is the early access and the notoriety of being one of the early backers in this project. This is what he's banking upon. Now, whether or not this game succeeds in the long run, we don't know. This may fail in 5 years. It may fail in 2 years. It might not get off the ground at all, but it will get off the ground. And the thing is, being an NFT, if the game, I'm just thinking out loud.
Here's the thing, Montoya. If it stops at 10,000, then it's okay. But when it continues for 10 years, is that still okay? Is that still okay? And that is where Star Citizen shows the kind of flaws in the system and things like that. I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it is. But I am going to go back to that vicious cycle that creating content specifically to sell, to continue to create content to specifically to sell, to continue to create content to specifically to sell is the thing that Star Citizen unfortunately has gotten itself into. And, you know, who's to say Doc won't as well? Is these are the first 10,000. Is there going to be another 10,000? Right? Because it's hard to not pick up $500,000 off the ground if that's all you need to do, right? It's just the first 500,000. What happens after? Is it going to fleece everybody? What, you know? There's so much to these things where CR could have done that. He didn't. And that's the difference with SC for me is it's very clear that he's actively developing the game. All of the money, if not, most of the money, I should say, is being spent on active development and being paid to the developers. We've never heard a developer complain about not getting a paycheck, things like that. Like that has happened at other companies, right? You know, we think and we see that they're taking our money and using it for good. We don't know what Chris pays himself. We don't know what Sandy gets paid, and we don't know what Aaron gets paid. You know, that little situation with nepotism is like, you know, nobody really knows exactly what's going on there, if it's truly nepotism or if it's not, right? But besides that, they're taking the money and doing good with it, as far as we know. You don't know what's going to happen here.
If the game eventually fails as a game, but there's still some value to have been part of an early backer of a project of Dr. Disrespect, who's still going to be a famous character, there may be value to that NFT.
No, this could literally get him canceled, Montoya. If this, like, here's the risk that Doc is taking, is, and that CR is taking too. CR, if Star Citizen never succeeds, will never, ever get funded ever again. I can't believe he did. Like, I didn't know about the whole freelancer thing. I never knew freelancer existed until I found out about Star Citizen, right? I obviously played the Wing Commander games, but Doc will get canceled if this fails. Doc will his streams will everyone will probably unsubscribe or unmember or whatever it is on YouTube, and yeah, that's probably the end of his career.
After that, like I said, of all the NFT projects I've seen in regard to gaming, you know, when compared to something like that, I like where he's going with this one so far. So yeah, I know this might be as a shocking surprise to many of you. Probably came here wanting to hear me slam the NFTs on this, but in this particular case, like I said,
it's so much like SC. How could you?
And I got to be honest, if NFTs existed back in 2012 when Star Citizen funded, I would have been happier to actually buy something which had the potential to increase in value if the game succeeded. Now the people...
Bro, then why do you slam that other game that is selling spaceships? Why are you hating on that other game that is like, what is it, Star Atlas? How is, like, in reality, hey guys, we're selling these and we're gonna make a game. I think we all know that they're not gonna make a game. I think that's why he's slamming on it, right? It looks way worse than what Doc is doing, but in reality, they're very similar. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe I just don't understand the NFT thing, and maybe I'm just naive to this whole thing. But it's hilarious how much this looks like Star Citizen, and you know, it's hard to look at Montoya and go like, you know, I'm in the same boat as you, dude. Like, a lot of our success in our content creation is dependent on the game. and smashing the game down into oblivion doesn't benefit either of us. I get that, but this, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I was really coming along to Montoya, and I thought we were starting to agree on things a lot. And I agree. In some ways, I agree. Like, it's a good way to crowdfund a project, as long as he doesn't do it exactly like Star Citizen. And the issue there is, he said the whole transparency. You're going to be a part of the entire game's development and all that stuff. And it's
people who backed Star
dicey,
Citizen
man.
did so because it's a passion project. They want to play the game. But imagine you backed back in 2012 and you bought a ship, which was an NFT, which was rare, and the value of that increased as the game progressed and got more popular. I'd be all over that. So yes, sorry to disappoint those of you who came here to hear me slam NFTs. In this particular case, I like it. I like the experiment, and I'm curious to see where this goes. With that, let's wrap up this video. I want to know your thoughts below. What do you think?
Montoya, we're already living in the experiment. You and I already live in this experiment. And in some ways it's succeeded very well, and in some ways it's failed. I hope Dr. Disrespect improves on this experiment. That's it. I hope this game is great, and we'll have to see.